So the defense sort of had like a rough night last time out. Like, talk about, what was it like in the locker room afterward? Like, what did you guys talk about? What was the morale like?
A lot of defensive guys are disappointed in the lack of our execution on our half. I mean, the offense held it up for us pretty good. We just didn't make enough plays, and on third and fourth down to get them off the field, they found a way to keep drives alive, and it was disappointing for the defensive backs especially. We talked amongst ourselves, and we know we got to get a lot better for this week because it's going to be another challenge coming this Saturday.
What did they do that was so hard to stop? Like Coach was saying, that it was hard to get a pass rush on you, regardless of whether you did it up front or tried to play man-to-man. Like, what was it about that team that was so tough?
The quarterback, he was mobile enough to get out and keep the play alive, and then we weren't getting good enough pressure on him, and he was just locating guys and putting the ball right on them. He did a really good job with that, and then we had plenty of opportunities to get him off the field, and somehow we didn't execute and do enough to stop drives and get him off the field.
Do you guys feel like last weekend was kind of a step back for defense instead of taking a step forward?
Yeah, it's kind of a step back, but at the same time, we can look at the film, learn from it, and put it into part of this week against San Jose. These two teams are similar, and we're going to have to cover guys. And I mean, like Josh said, in the secondary, we've talked amongst ourselves, and we've came to the conclusion that no matter who we're playing, you have to pay attention to your assignments.
And from watching the film of San Jose State, I know it's still pretty early in the week, but are you guys expecting a more kind of formidable challenge than last week? Or?
Yeah, I mean, they have 3 good receivers and a better running back and tight end, so they have more threats. And watching the little bit of film that we've already started to watch, I mean, these guys are going to come out hungry and ready to prove a point. They're coming off a 2-1 record so far and barely losing to Stanford by 3, so they're a pretty good team.
Yeah,
talk about the pick to the house, that first points of the game. It seemed like you got your defense rolling.
The pick to the house, I mean, that was coming from our line up front, getting pressure on that quarterback for him to get rid of it fast. I mean, it's all credit to them. That's the only reason why I was able to do that.
Guys, at which point in the game last week did you guys go and play more of like a man-to-man?
Well, Coach switched it up a lot through the game. I mean, there were situations where he wanted to get more pressure on the quarterback, and to do that, we needed to go play man. And we didn't get enough pressure, and he found a way, and then he found a way to complete the ball, and we would go back to a zone, and some of those were working for us. I mean, it works off and on for us throughout the game. So it was majority, and then a lot in the fourth quarter, we started playing a lot of zone, and that last drive, we were able to get them off the field, and we played a lot of both. So it was just a mixture, and we mixed it up a little bit. Started playing more zone towards the second half.
So that was probably working better for you guys?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, when you know that your young defensive line is sort of still learning to really put on a pass rush, does that put more pressure on you guys to make sure that if the ball does come your way, you can't get beat?
Yeah, I think it does put a little bit more pressure on us, being able to stay in coverage a little bit more. I mean, but our secondary is experienced, so I mean, we're able to handle that task.
Would you guys say you gel better after a big loss like that, or after a big win against Army?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely confidence booster, and I mean, it was a strange transition going from Army because they ran the ball almost every play that game, and then to come out and have North Dakota come around and throw the ball around the park like that. So, I mean, you feel good about wins, but I mean, we had to execute and figure out another game plan for the opponent in front of us.
How valuable was it getting that experience at game speed against a team like North Dakota who likes to air it out and then going the following week against San Jose State?
Oh, it's definitely valuable. I mean, it's helping us going into this next week. Like Josh said, coming off a week, you're playing against somebody who runs the ball, and then the next weekend they're throwing the ball almost every other play. I mean, it's especially for secondary. I mean, that's what we want people to do is throw the ball, have action.
You guys have both been around college football for a while, right? You're pretty experienced. Like, in the last few years, do you feel like offenses and offensive skill players are faster, better, and just more skilled coming into college than they were before. Like last week, you guys weren't the only Mountain West team that got a lot of points hung on you as a defense. Like, do you see a switch there at all?
Well, I feel like the game's changing a little bit. I think a lot of teams are starting to want to throw the ball more. I mean, there are a lot of screen passes, a lot of one-on-one matchups, and trying to make guys miss in the open field. But I mean, as a secondary, you still got to be able to make plays and confuse quarterbacks and get to where you need to be to execute. So, yeah, I think that a lot of teams are passing the ball more and more as the game, changes.
So how do you sort of guard against that as a secondary? Does it go back to like fundamentals and fundamental man-to-man techniques?
Exactly. You said it right there. It goes back to fundamentals. I mean, each opponent that you play, you're going to have to pay attention to fundamentals no matter their skill level. If you're caught slipping, then the ball will find you and it'll be a big play.
You say you guys are a little bit overconfident going into the North Dakota game as a defense, the way you played the week before?
No, I don't think we were overconfident. I know a lot of guys on the team are competitive, and we want to perform in front of any opponent that's in front of us. I just think that we didn't get it done in the sense that making plays to get them off the field and cover guys well enough. And I know guys are going to be excited this week in practice, and we got a lot to prove. We got a lot of gameplay and stuff to get in front of us, so we're going to go out here and we're going to cover better next week.